Hello and welcome back to our life. I am so happy to have you all with me on this journey. I don't think I've said that before, so I'm saying it now. Today we have Wave and we are pairing it up with Mole. We have a DLC and a non-DLC for this one. I've just been sat here for the past couple of minutes trying to figure out what ones I want to do next. But I know what I'm going to do. So that is good. The family shopping trip had lasted most of the morning, and you still had to unload everything from the trunk before you could go and enjoy the afternoon. You cradled another bag under your arms as you headed towards your house. It was one of the heavier bags from the grocery store, loaded with fresh apples, ripe tomatoes, a bunch of carrots, and even half a watermelon. Matt came out to the front door and paused just ahead of you.
It's no trouble.
Need any help with that, Callie? I can bring you the rest of the way if you want me to. No, I've got it. Even if it was large, it wasn't really a problem for you. Matt gave you an encouraging grin and rustled her fingers through your purple hair. You set the next bag on the counter. Your older sister began to root around inside for the contents of the sigh. How much is left? Still a few more bags. With a huff and puff, Elizabeth continued putting away the groceries, and you retreated out of the kitchen before you could become a target of a bad mood.
Be careful!
Careful, Callie! You hadn't been looking where you were going and bumped right into Mom, almost stepping on her toes to boot. Sorry! I can give you a pass this time, but be sure to watch where you're going. If you run into the wrong person, you might get your license revoked. She grinned at the bad joke as you continue through the door. Outside, Matt had started organizing what remained and putting back any loose objects that had fallen out during the trip. When you stepped up to the trunk beside her, she took in a big breath of air, her dress gently swaying around in the breeze.
That's a shame.
It's a shame we had to spend the morning cooped up in that shopping center. It's a beautiful day, don't you think? You tilted your head to the sky, gazing at the clear blue expanse. I wish it was raining. You let out a sigh, searching the skies for any fluffy grey rain cloud. Maybe I'll get a sun shower one of these days. You perked up at that, hoping it were true. It'd be a refreshing change right about now. With renewed enthusiasm, you turned back to the trunk to help Ma with the last of the bags. Oh! Hi, Cove! You noticed Mom wave over at Cove, who just exited his front door. His surfboard propped up under one arm. Let me see. Surfboard and wetsuit. Where might you be off to on this beautiful day? Cove flinched at being called out so suddenly. He hadn't realized there were people out here already, but he quickly recovered. Good one, Miss Wolf. He crossed the pavement to properly say hello to you and your moms. Hello, honey. It's a beautiful day for surfing. I haven't been out on the waves in a long time. I'm jealous. Cove smiled, pleased to have people around who shared his hobby. Yeah, I'm hoping to get you good waves before it gets dark. Do you want to come hang out there later, Callie? Sure. I'll meet you there when we're done.
Cool.
Can I help out with anything? No. This is our job. You go and enjoy the beach. Callie can catch up as soon as they're finished here. Alright. I'll see you. Yeah. You watched as Cove headed off towards the beach, unable to hide your grin, knowing that you'd be joining him soon. I wonder if these are VTuber models? Like, turn into PNGs? It just gives me that vibe since I've been messing around with V2 V-Roid models. I just can't help but think. Once everything had finally been taken in and put away, you got yourself ready to meet Cove at the beach. You had a surfboard in your room that you wanted to take with you. You've been practicing your surfing more and more lately. It was always ready to go. After grabbing your board and everything ready, you headed down to the beach.
Have fun.
Have fun, honey. Stay safe. When you arrived to the shore, you were greeted by the crash of waves and the soft call of seagulls. You took in a lungful of ocean air and felt your tan skin warm in the sun. You noticed a small setup nearby with a towel, some sunscreen, and a bowl of water. It must be Cove's. You spotted Cove nearby. He hadn't gone out to sea yet. He was just sitting in the sand at the water's edge, his board propped up beside him. You strolled up beside him. Hey, I'm here. Callie! He looked up at you with a smile and quickly hopped to his feet. I was wondering if you were still coming. I wouldn't have missed it. He chuckled shyly at your insistence. Okay. Then he cast his eyes out to the waves. I want to do this one again. Will you give me some tips? Cove surfed more often than you did, so you knew he would have some good tips to help you improve. Yeah, let's get started. I knew that much, right? I was the one who promised to show you about surfing. True. He's offered that option to you for pretty much as long as you've known him. You were relieved he remembered. You tugged your board under your arm, and the two of you ran out into the water together. You paddled out into the sea to where the good waves were. The water was cool against your skin.
It's nice.
Not too calm, but nothing crazy. It looks perfect today. That is such a good image. He smiled at you, and you couldn't help but smile back. You felt totally content. Until Cove kicked the water a little too hard, and it inadvertently splashed you. Hey! Sorry! The apology did not come off as especially repentive, as he was practically laughing when he said it. You splashed him back. You laughed but waited for an opportunity for revenge. The second he looked away, you kicked back, spraying him.
Seriously?
That is a face of utter amusement. Is that any way to treat someone trying to help? I came out here to teach you. And I was just following your example. Cove tried to keep a straight face, but ended up looking away. The water you flicked at him landed in shiny droplets in his hair. Then here's another lesson. He soaked you deliberately this time. He used his full leg, and impressive current of water hit you in the face. You lost your balance and scrambled to keep hold of the board. You just managed to stay on, but it was close. Cove winced. Are you okay? That wasn't what I was trying to do. I'm fine, but we should do the real teaching. Yeah. He chuckled awkwardly and shook some water out of his ear. With that, Cove started telling you all the tricks and tips of how to stay on the surfboard. He demonstrated both good and bad posture, and explained where you needed to put your weight. Like this. You wiggled your body so you're more in the center of your board. Cove nodded. Yep, just like that. The little lesson continued, and things clicked with you quickly. You may not have been entirely sure of yourself before, but that was rapidly changing. You were definitely getting it. Since you spent so much time working on balance in stable water, you wondered if when you would actually get to catch some waves. Rob stood up to Cove and he nodded. If you think you're ready for it, you'll do great. Alright. With that, you graduated from Cove's class, and the two of you were able to surf together more casually, even if he was still better at it. What an afternoon. The sun was setting. The setting sun was visible on the horizon. Every time you would look away, it sunk a little lower. The beach was darkening, but still pleasantly warm. Wonder. You knew you should get out of the water before it was completely dark in the sea. You rode one last wave to get back to the beach. There you picked up your surfboard and gave it a once-over. Cove followed behind you to shore. He put his board with his other things and grabbed his towel and started drying off. As he ruffled his hair with the towel, you watched the sunset together. The colours were beautiful in the distance, and the shadows around you deepened. There was no need for words between you two, as you both enjoyed the sight for a moment. Cove broke the silence. The waves were good today, I think. Perfect for surfing. He nodded mildly. You chatted a little more until the conversation truly died out, and all you heard was the rhythmic sounds of waves. Then Cove sighed. The day can't be over. Not yet. He scowled in the distance as if the exiting sun was the sun exiting the sky was a personal offense. And you think it should be longer? Yeah. Cove stood up straight in defiance of the approaching darkness. I'm not gonna go home yet. I wanna go somewhere. I don't know. Cove was still dripping in salt water, so you weren't sure what the alternative was. Wetsuits were fine for the beach, and not much else. It wasn't a good idea for him to look his surfboard around town either. You'll be real cute in that wetsuit wherever you go. Cove's face and ears flushed red as he looked down, inspecting himself. He crossed his hands over his chest self-consciously. He had been so used to wearing it that Cove hadn't given his current state to dress any thought. At least, that was until you pointed it out to him. Stop it! Then he looked down to the shore with wide, shining eyes. There's one place that's always okay to hang out in, no matter what time it is. The park. He nodded. The park was virtually always empty. Even Elizabeth only went there nowadays if she was looking for you. How times have changed. He used to be so overprotective of the place. In fact, the only kid there was a chance of running into, that might be the Jeremy kid again. He brought the idea up to Cove, and he cringed, but I'm still going. The sun is still there, a little. I'm staying out as long as it is. You tagged along. Okay, let's go. Cove took a minute to put his stuff in order. He made sure to get it all, though it didn't take much care to shake off the sand. You dealt with your own things. You stuffed everything together quickly. I'm done, Cove. He rolled his eyes with a bent smile at the announcement. As a final touch, Cove plucked his glasses off the beach and put them back on his face. He looked more like himself now. He led the way down to the beach, to the park. It wasn't far, so it didn't take you long at all. The sun still hadn't completely disappeared just yet when you made your arrival. Cove stuck his surfboard upright in the sand and tossed his towel over the top. By now, the two of you were mostly dry. The summer breeze on your skin kept you pleasantly warm. Cove idly went over to the monkey bars. He grabbed them feet flat on the ground and pretended to go across. He had definitely grown in the past few years. You had also outgrown the monkey bars. You were way too tall to play on them properly anymore. When he got to a bar in the middle, Cove pulled himself up and through, then sat on the top of the bars. His legs dangled off the side of the bar he was perched on. You joined him on the monkey bars. You didn't even have to stretch to pull yourself up. It was a rather tall seat to clamber on, but it worked. Cove scooted over to give you more room to spread out. These monkey bars weren't made for two teens sitting on top of them. Guess what? He smiled broadly and raised an eyebrow. He's not here. Right, it was true. There wasn't a single sign of Jeremy. Looks like it was just going to be the two of you tonight. Cove hung his head and groaned dramatically. The eyes widened as when he whipped his head back up.
No way.
I can't believe how dumb my parents are for forcing me to come to this stupid place. You're taken aback and blinked for a second before you realized he was quoting Jeremy. Ugh! Parents don't know anything! Cove chuckled back at you, amused. You looked around. The old park, the street you knew like the back of your hand, and the beach. These were your stomping grounds. You wondered how Cove actually felt. How much of his joke just a joke, and how much was sincerely a dislike of the place. Moving had never been his choice. He let silence stretch out between you two. He ended up. I don't blame Sunset Bird for my problems. You stared at him. Cove kicked his legs carelessly as they dangled. He smiled softly. I like it here. I really do. It's a nice place. He didn't hesitate. There was no uncertainty that was his genuine opinion. Well, of course. I'm here after all. He shook his head with a rueful smile. It didn't take long for the day to finally draw to a close. The sun was gone and it was dark. It had for a while longer, but it was definitely winding down. He just wanted to say anything. He sat in the dark in silence. Cove shifted position so that his back was down the monkey bars, and he could stare up at the stars. He wondered how comfortable that could be. Look at the moon! It's so clear tonight. You glanced up and saw the great gibbous moon swelling over the sky. A few clouds covered the sparkling stars above. Too bad we can't stay forever. Cove sighed. It was time to go home. He jumped down from the monkey bars with his thumb when his feet hit the ground. You clambered down the monkey bars yourself. You lowered yourself more slowly than Cove, and barely made a sound when your feet reached the ground. Cove grabbed his surfboard and threw his towel around his neck. With his water ball in hand, he was ready. You both began to trek up the road. It was a quiet night, and you didn't run into anyone else. In what felt like no time, you reached your street. As you walked, Cove smiled to himself. It was a soft expression, and you couldn't help but wonder what put it there. Everything okay? I just remember when we were younger, it used to be a huge deal, or big deal, to come home after dark. You could indeed recall. If you got sandy, your parents would have something to say. If you got wet, your parents would have more to say. And if you came home after dark, well, your moms and dads better have said it was okay beforehand. You used to need permission for everything. That small comment he made exposed just how much freedom you really had this summer. Cove looked up into the sky, a smile still on his face, as the two of you walked side by side, reminiscing. When you came to your houses, you turned to each other. Well, thanks for today, Callie. Thanks for this awesome day. Cove waved and you both turned to your respective houses. This was a pleasant end to the outing, you thought. Lee's visit today turned out to be more involved than you expected. Overhearing where the Holden family was going, Lee insisted on seeing Mr. Holden's shop firsthand. An hour later, and Lee was busy looking at every item on display. Because Cove's dad offered supplies, lessons, and tours, his shop had all the scuba-related stuff you could imagine. Fins, masks, suits, snorkels. After cycling around the shop, you finally stopped and looked at the room. You spent a lot of time here over the years. The shop was familiar to you as your own neighborhood. It was practically another extension of your home. You were still bursting with excitement. When you arrived, you took Lee on a tour, including a sales pitch on all your favorite things. Mr. Holden promised there was no rush and asked you to give Lee some time to explore at her own pace. Lee was still busy poking through the various wetsuits displayed, so you decided to see what Cove and Derek were doing. They were too absorbed in their conversation to notice you standing near them, leaning against the counter. You were able to pick up the topic quickly.
Anyway.
My dad told me the new stuff is selling like crazy. Yeah, the material has this new blend with less neoprene. My dad says people are really interested in it. It brought a smile to your face hearing the shop was doing well. You decided to join in with the conversation. Those wetsuits of the bright colors are probably popular too. I haven't seen many with that style in other places. Right? I like those ones.
Maybe.
Some of them might be too bright. I don't think that's the point of scuba diving, is drawing a lot of attention to yourself. Maybe people will just wear them on the beach. Standing out would help there. Your family could always spot you. Cove smiled at Derek's positivity. But really, there's just so much to think about with the business. It's crazy. No matter how much I come, I still don't think I get it. Cove hummed and nodded in agreement, causing a good-humoured laugh from Derek. I thought you only liked the scuba diving part, not the job part. That's just the best part. I think about other things too.
I gotcha.
Cool, the business side. Running it, that's my favourite. Out the corner of your eye, you caught movement. You realised that Lee was now standing next to you. When your dad's retired, do you think you guys are going to carry on the store? Both sons shrugged in unison.
Well,
There are tons of things I could do. My dad thinks so too. He doesn't want me to plan on working here forever. Cove's gaze fell to the floor. You could see the conflict flashing across his face.
I don't know.
It's a lot, being the real boss of something and totally in charge. If my moms had their own business, I'd take over. You would? You smiled wistfully. If they put all that work into starting and running a shop, I don't think they could let it go. It would be part of the family. Derek looked like he was thinking hard. His arms folded and his head went into a small tilt. That's a good point. I could be sad to say bye to all that. Cove's parents left the back office and came over, catching your attention. Sorry, kids. It looks like it's going to be a long one. I know usually others hold down the fort, but I really need to stay here today. I know you wanted a little visit. It'd be boring getting stuck in all day, because of me. Kyra can take my car and go back to the neighborhood. Cove and Derek gave him an understanding look. Mr. Holden crossed his arms and flashed you all a big smile, trying to lift the mood. The one condition is that someone has to remember to come back for me later. You don't get to strand me here, no matter how funny that might be. Harry laughed and gave a thumbs up. Mr. Holden seemed satisfied with that. He moved on with the explanation. Derek, your dad also has his hands full today, so he doesn't have time to run you back home.
It's okay.
That's alright, sir. The title sir got an awkward chuckle out of Cliff, which was cut short when Kyra elbowed him teasingly.
What do you think?
You already said I could borrow your car. Why don't I take all the kids somewhere fun for the afternoon?
Absolutely.
That's fine with me. Just please come back eventually. Sometime today, Kyra. I wonder if it's actually Kyra. I've been just calling her Kyra this entire time. After all the poor jokes about being left with no ride, you had to wonder if that actually happened in their past together. For you, my good sir, I swear, cross my heart. Happy with the promise, Cliff took out his black wallet and offered a $50 bill to Kyra. I'm gonna keep calling her Kyra, by the way. I don't care. Archie, I already said no. Yeah, I was right. Here, in case you need gas or anything else while you're out. Kyra smiled knowingly and accepted the bill without hesitation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cove's dad stuck the wallet back into his back pocket while he waved with the free hand. Okay, time for me to jump back into work. Have fun for me. Bye, Dad. Bye. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Holden. Goodbye, sir, ma'ams, and their most respected guests. He left the shop with a wink and flare, disappearing into the employees-only area of the shop. But Mr. Holden was out of sight. Kyra silently strolled over to the counter and placed the $50 bill there. She turned back around and beamed a large smile at you and the others. Go on, gang, let's see if this town has a mall. Yeah! Yes! Unable to contain her excitement, Lee actually jumped with joy while Cove and Derek just grinned. There wasn't a mall in your hometown, but Mr. Holden's store wasn't in Sunset Bird. It might be possible to find a store out here. You felt okay about that. A trip to the mall had never failed you. You nodded, deciding that today was going to be alright. Let's go. She quickly herded the group out of the store and to the car. As the driver, I get to choose my partner in crime. Naturally, I bestow the position of shotgun to my baby. Her comment had both Derek and Lee snickering. Cove was for sure embarrassed over the phrasing and latent favoritism, but he took the seat by his mom without complaint. You kept quiet. Certainly, you watched Cove and his mom interact. It still felt odd at times to actually see her. I'll take the middle seat. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want a window seat. You two can have them. Are you cool with that? You thought it was odd that anyone would give up the window seat, but you knew Derek tried to be especially polite when he was a guest. You nodded.
Fantastic.
Good. Sounds like we're all in agreement. Everyone squeezed into the car, buckling in. And Kyra turned the radio on. She set a top 40s pop station. You didn't like it. Browning, you thought the music could be better, but you also felt the car ride wouldn't be too long, so you tried to focus on other things, like the view out the window. It wasn't long until your group realized they were lost, but after driving in enough circles, Kyra's struggle paid off and she found a local mall. There were more cheers from Lee as Kyra pulled into a parking spot. Once your group had made it inside, the first order of business on this trip was checking what this mall actually had. Where should we go? Ooh, I think I see a makeup store up ahead. She rolled up on her tiptoes to get a better view. Meanwhile, Derek was eyeing the dictionary. There's a chocolate shop! Seriously, we have to go there. Yes, wait. We need to find a decent jewelry shop. I need new hair ties and barrettes.
Nice.
We've also got to at least look for a game store. There's tons of things you can't get anywhere but a store that's just for video games. Hey, what are you thinking, Cove? I want to look at the fish in the pet shop. You could have guessed that much. Anywhere else? He smiled with some bashfulness. Can we go to a camping and outdoor supply shop?
So...
What about you, Callie? We're not gonna do that one. Video game... Store, chocolate shop, pet store. Basically everywhere. Oh, and that one. And that's all that really interested you. That's certainly a list. Good thing we have all afternoon. Yeah! I have my own stops I want to make. Let's agree to regroup here at 7 p.m.
What?
You're not coming with us? We're all in the same building. You won't be as alone as you think. I'll only be a few minutes away at most. You're old enough to enjoy the mall without me hovering. Okay.
See you soon.
Be back here at 7 p.m. Toodaloo. Leaving Derek and Lee stunned at their newfound freedom, Clara walked off. When she was almost out of sight, Derek's face twisted in confusion. Wow. He's really gone. I can't believe she just did that. This is so cool! We get to do whatever we want. You were happy about it. Talk about an amazing opportunity. It really is exciting. With the decision already made, Derek tried to pull together his earlier enthusiasm for the trip.
So,
where are we going first? Time's wasting. Whatever's closest. Things are coming together, but you realize there might be a flaw in today's plans. What's wrong, Callie? Did everyone bring money with them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did. I always have some on me when I come all the way out here. You had money too. Immediately you felt better about the situation. It would have been a downer not to be able to think about something at the mall because they didn't have money. I'm good. Now that everything was squared away, you explored them all together as a group. There are many shops that you managed to venture into so far. You even went to a video game store, leaving with a pep in your step. This was better than you thought, and there was still so much to see. After hitting many of the top priority stores, you found yourself passing by a small booth. It was decorated with wind chimes of various sizes. You raised a hand up to one of the smaller ones. What sparked your attention was Cove. You thought for sure he was going to stop at the booth, by the way he looked at it, but he kept going. Do you want one? It wasn't until Lee asked you realized that you had stopped in front of the booth without saying anything. He just continued to encourage you. You should get one. You wanted one, but for someone else. It had caught your attention, though it was because it might make a nice gift. You wondered if Lee was planning on becoming a wind chime salesperson since she kept pushing it. I have one like this at home. It makes the prettiest sound. Pushing out your money, you made a decision on what to buy. You got one for yourself and one for Cove. Can I get these two, please? Now why would you need two wind chimes? You rolled your eyes at her teasing tone, but you couldn't hide the smile growing on your face as Lee broke out into laughter. The shopkeeper carefully wrapped your purchases up and handed it back to you in a bag. You accepted them and raced off with Lee to catch up with the boys. For Cove, you picked out a beautiful wind chime that had a dolphin charm. You had a feeling he would appreciate that. After leaving another clothing store, one that Lee couldn't resist exploring, you and your friends found yourselves walking down the main hall of the mall again. It wasn't long until everyone you were with had their eye on the smoothie kiosk ahead. Should we stop? Yeah. You approached. Your eyes were drawn to the dizzying list of smoothie combinations. A part of you wondered how long it would take for them to try them all. Hi there. Do you need a rundown on how this works? Yes, please. Okay, first you pick up to 3 options of fruits or berries. Then I'll add ice and the store's special smoothie base next. Then you'll have your very own smoothie for $4. There's only one size. Cove leaned over the counter for a bit. For several moments, he intently studied the plentiful fruit and berry options. I want to get a strawberry banana smoothie with coconut, too. Sounds good. Is anyone else getting something? Can I just get one that's all mango? Of course.
Thanks.
I'd like strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries for mine, thanks. The shopkeeper looked at you now. You didn't want one. I'm not getting anything. At that, all the others went ahead and paid for their drinks. You waited over at the other side of the booth where the drinks were put when they were done. Derek bounced on his feet, excited for his to be ready.
Aw.
This is going to be good. Lee chimed in with her own enthusiasm. Everyone says that smoothie-based stuff can make any drink taste great. Cove, while quieter, looked just as eager for a smoothie. Luckily, there hadn't been anyone else before you, so it wasn't a long wait. The group collected the fresh drinks that were placed on the counter. Straws were placed through the opening at the top of the cup, and the first tentative sips were had. Derek sighed in satisfaction after his taste. Mango is too delicious. Mine is super good too. Cove nodded and hummed in agreement. His straw was still in his mouth. Sneakily, you wanted to steal a sip of someone else's smoothie. Now, I always target Lee, because we're family. I want to target someone else. You decide to steal a sip of Derek's smoothie. For a few minutes, you walked alongside Derek, waiting for the right moment you could covertly take a taste. When you went for it, Derek immediately noticed. His arm froze in place. He stared at you cautiously as you stood up straight and finished the sip you stole. There was no fighting the grin that quickly started across your face. You didn't fail to miss the small blush that appeared. Are you crazy? Why would you do that? I wanted to drink some of yours. That's it. I'd have been cool if you had asked, but it's alright. Accepted your answer. Derek kicked at something non-existent on the floor. He shouted laughingly. Was it worth it? Yes. Thanks. You're welcome. Leah looked away from you. She was trying to contain her laughter, but it still shook from the ones that got out. You wanted to ask someone else the smoothies? We'll do Cove. Cove, could I have a drink of yours? Not one second since getting it had his lips been apart from the straw, but he did seem to be considering your request. You jokingly begged him, "Please, Cove, I need to have some of the smoothie." Cove smiled softly, and finally he offered the cup to you. He held the cup in both hands and took a sip. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. It was a kind sacrifice, you know. This is really good. Taking his drink back, Cove's smile seemed to grow bigger. His teasing tone made you grin. It is. You wanted to ask someone else to try the smoothie. You asked if you could try Lee's smoothie. Hey Lee, can I get a taste of what you got? Of course. Lee held her cup out to you, and you leaned forward to sip from the straw. The berry blend tasted very strong. Thanks. I'm always there to help, as long as you remember to share with me when you can, too. Lee put her free hand on her hip and winked at you, feigning seriousness. She couldn't keep it up long before she broke into laughter. As your group continued to wander the mall, you came to an area in the path that was wider. Oh god. In the center of the opening was a small collection of quarter operated right on machines. Derek stopped as soon as he saw them, smiling ear to ear. I want a ride? I think we might be too big.
No way.
No way, we're not that old yet. He eagerly headed over the machines, wanting to take a better look. Lee went along with it, smiling. You stayed quiet about it. Sadly, you decide to wait and see how the scene unfolded in front of you. Reconvening around Derek, you watched as he focused on the various brightly colorful rides. Most were shaped to design like real vehicles. There were some horse-shaped ones too. One could even sit 2 people. I think it's the car. I call the helicopter. Why?
Cool.
It's the coolest, and I think it'll move the most. He started digging in his pockets, pulling out whatever money he had left. Wait, is everything okay? I need 4 quarters, right? Yeah, I only have 2. That's doing more between all of us. Hold on. Pockets, wallets, and purses were checked over. Cove still had... Derek still had 2. Cove only had 1. We ended up with at the most 3. You didn't have any. I reckon that we either have car or cash. So we just don't keep change.
Don't worry about it.
You can have mine. Thanks. But you don't have to. It's not enough for me, even if it was. It would be dumb to ride while you had to watch. I shrugged. He tried and failed to look unsure what to do next. He didn't offer up a suggestion. If we're not riding, can we get some candy instead? He giddily pointed to a collection of shiny Gumballs machines off to the side of where you were. Yeah! You just got smoothies and we already went to a candy store. Isn't that a lot already?
Nope.
No, it's not the same. Gum is completely different than a smoothie or buying chocolate, even if it is still sweet. It looked like you dead set on having one victory, even if it was trivial. You chuckled, accepting that you were going to let him have a win. Okay.
Sure.
I could use gum. And so the 4 of you sped over to the candy dispensers. After a few twists of the knob, the group collected its loot. Lee immediately popped hers into her mouth. Her smile foul as she watched Cove stash his gumball away in his pocket. What? It's gonna get all gross in your pants. She wrinkled her nose in disapproval. Cove shrugged.
I know.
That does. But I think I'll be fine. I want it for later. Lee shook her head and then turned her attention to Derek. They quickly started competing on who could blow the biggest bubbles. Their serious battle had you and Cove cracking grins in no time. It didn't even matter that none of you got to ride the quarter-operated machines anymore. Then you noticed something out the corner of your eye. You turned your head to look directly at it, and you burst into laughter. What's so funny? You turned back to the group and nodded in the direction where you were looking. Isn't that one of those machines that takes dollars and gives quarters back? The kind that exists for people who don't have quarters on hand? Everyone's heads moved that way, and so you were right. Derek chuckled awkwardly. That's exactly what it is.
Oh.
We're kinda dumb. We had to miss that this whole time. Come on, let's just put this behind us. There's still places open. We haven't been everywhere yet.
Totally.
Here. You moved along from one stop towards your next. So jovial from the experience. Fully into your walk, Lee ran over to the nearby trash can and tossed away her smoothie cup. Derek went after her and threw away his cup away. Cove was the last one to throw his cup away. He took one final sip, making sure he got every last drop. The clock inched closer to 7 p.m. as you made your way back to the dictionary. It had been hard to believe how fast the day went by.
So...
Why do you think your mom ended up today? We didn't see her anywhere. Dunno, she's just like that. Ooh, it's a mystery! Despite having vanished for the entire trip so far. When the 7 p.m. hit, you spotted Kyra coming right over, waving cheerily. As soon as she was close enough, she pinched Cove's cheek.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, baby, and friends. Hi, Mom. He pushed her hand back with one hand and rubbed his cheek with the other. Did you have a good day, gang? Yeah. Today was awesome. We did so much.
Not bad.
It was fun. You really enjoyed your day. There was no hiding your joy. Like the others, you were smiling ear to ear, because today went so much better than you expected. I'm glad we came here.
That I do.
I want to hear it all about it during the ride back. She clapped her hands together once, making sure she had everyone's undivided attention. Speaking of that, we better head out. Cliff must be missing us, and you've got to be starving. It's dinner time and you haven't eaten yet. Yeah. Everyone followed her lead and started walking out the door to the parking lot. Something about what Kara said felt off to you. There were tons of places to eat. It's a mall. You could have had dinner. I wondered if it was just a good guess, but you could feel your eyebrows raise when it dawned on you. She might have been keeping an eye on you after all. I'm pleased about that. She didn't have to lie. None of you had a problem with her staying with you today. You weren't expecting it. You felt uncomfortable by her unnecessary deception. Taking those thoughts, you caught up with the others. Given the same seating arrangement as earlier, you all powered into the car and started heading back to the store. The drive went by without any problems, as it was filled with chatter about the various things everyone saw around the mall. Soon enough, you'd arrived at your destination. It was a much faster trip considering this time Kara knew where she was going. Hearing the light jingle of bells from the front door being opened, Cliff poked his head out from the back. He lit up at seeing who was here. Hey, Sport! Did everyone have an adventure? Hi, Dad. We had a blast! Yes! We found the mall.
Aw.
The mall? I wish I could have joined. Wait, what was this voice line?
Aw.
Oh, it was that. He deflated in an exaggerated way. His shoulders sloped. Harry put a hand on his arm and smiled.
Any hoosies.
There'll be other times. Are you set here? Almost. Mr. Holden sighed for real, and he pulled himself together, standing up straight.
Do you mind?
I just need a little more time to finish up. Will you be alright killing time for a bit longer? It's okay. Yes, sir! No problem, Mr. Holden.
Sure.
We can have fun here. Excellent. What a great group of kids. He gave him a approving thumbs up, and Kara nodded along. I'll give you a hand. I remember the ropes. Why, thank you. They walked side by side to the back room. Before he was out of sight, Cliff stopped and looked over his shoulder. If you leave the shop, don't go far. It's getting late. And the parents were gone again. Let's go to the docks. They're right down the way. Yeah. Oh. I saw those on the way here and really wanted to check it out. Are you coming, Callie? Alright. With a smile, Cove showed the way. Between the warm summer air and the smell of the ocean, you can't ask for a better night.
Thanks.
Thanks for letting me come. Me too.
Right?
Right. I'm happy we did this. Today was great. Cove, your mom and dad are really cool. Really? Totally! Cove looked at Lee oddly. He ran a hand through his hair, and then his puzzled expression cracked with a chuckle. I guess sometimes they are. You continued walking. Every so often you would look up at the sky and see several stars poking out between the clouds. At one point you noticed Cove stopped walking while Lee and Derek kept going on ahead, busy chatting. Initially you wondered if something was wrong, but you quickly noticed he still looked to be in good spirits. You decided to hang back with Cove. He gave you a quick acknowledging look when you stopped by his side. You could taste the sea salt as you took a deep breath of ocean air. Silently, you and Cove watched the ocean for a little while. There was something about the waves that you always found soothing. You couldn't think of a better way to end a busy day. And this is what the background looks like without the text. If anyone was wondering. But then it hit you, the wind chime. This was a perfect moment. Quickly, you took the wrapped package out of your bag. Hey, Cove. He barely replied. Instead, he focused on mostly lazily watching the sea. The paper wrapping crinkled as you pushed the package forward, trying to make him realize. Finally caught sight of it, and his eyebrows raised high. Gingerly, Cove accepted the gift. Just seeing the present brought a smile to Cove's face. He carefully opened it, and his whole body brightened as he recognized the chime.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Callie, you're so... He explained that Cove had given you gifts, and you wanted to give him some in return. How many times have I been the one getting stuff? You deserve a present too. You know I don't want you to feel like you have to keep score or anything. I know. I don't have to. I didn't have to. I just wanted to. Cove's smile seemed to grow even bigger. He looked sincerely happy. You are way too nice to me. I can't even believe it. He started getting shy over his giddiness, and put a hand over his mouth. You were so happy that buying the wind chime was the right call. I'm going to find the best place to hang this. Thanks, Callie. You're welcome. Let me know where you end up putting it. It'll be helpful to know. You took your wrapped wind chime out of your bag and held it up, drawing a chuckle from him. Okay, we'll match that way. Yeah. Hey, Callie. He peeked at you from the side, out of the side of his eyes, with an grin. On a gamble? You had to laugh. He joined in. Not much later, Derek's chipper voice caught your attention. You and Cove turned your gaze down the pier. What are you doing there, slowpokes? Get over here. Hey, come on. You looked at Cove at the same time he looked at you. You grinned and nodded your head in the direction of your friends. He gave you a small smile in return. Your footsteps echoed against the wooden plank of the dock into the night as you ran to catch up. And there we have it! We have finally done these two amazing little stories, and I'm saving that right there so I don't lose any progress. Oh, my little puppy dogs are snoozing all over the place. Both on their own surface. I don't know about Mom's dogs though. Well, I know about one of them. The other one kinda went poof. It is my dinner time, so I'm gonna go prepare my dinner. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now!